What's shaking?
Taking my dinghy.
Yes.
Yep.
My baby for like 6 years.
This week on Now Here with Chris and Kell.
Cabrillas is getting very full, so boats are like packing into the sandlot, and this is why no one wants to be in the sandlot, because they're sandblasting over here, and that produces that nice little sandy haze that makes its way through the whole boatyard. The boat's covered in a nice fine dust that we wouldn't have to deal with if we were in the other lot.
Yeah, if this is what it looks like on the outside, imagine what everyone's lungs look like. No bueno.
Day 3 of prop dropping. The new stubborn piece is the dripless shaft seal. Basically, it keeps the water that comes in around your shaft from going into your boat, which would sink it. Anyway, it's tenacious. It doesn't want to come off. But I've also been slowly dropping the shaft with this contraption. It's highly technical. Basically, there's a piece of wood to keep that from getting all beat up, a big piece of metal that pushes against the back, and then these that hold onto the hull. So we loosen, I guess, technically these bolts pushing back on this whole rig, and it comes out. We've gone roughly this far so far, which is pretty good, and I think we'll continue to go. I wish this piece was coming with it, but it's definitely not. This obviously has to come off before we can make it through this hole. Calling it a day, and it's been a long one. It's like we're dealing in fractions of inches here. I go in, I beat on a piece of wood for 10 minutes, try to lube it up, try to heat it up, try to get it to move, and I think I've gotten a total of 3 inches so far in a full day of work. So I'm just waiting for that like point where, like, you know, the critical mass hits and it just shoots it off or makes it loose or something, but it just doesn't seem to want to happen. So alas.
The following day, Chris went back for more torture.
Back at it again today, struggling with the seal, but we're actually making some headway. I finally got it to the point where I'm using soap and water as a lubricant, and that lasts a little while and then it gets gummy, so you got to keep things lubricated. And I finally got some progress to where I can pull on it from in here, but I just want to show you what I'm up to. So that is the collar with the 2 screws sticking out of it. Those are normally for set screws, but I put some screws in there to give me a point of leverage. And here's the coupling. Obviously that's separated, and that gap right there is representing what we did on the outside yesterday. We got to get this metal collar back and off, and then that big coupler off as well. That's what we're working on. It's moving pretty good right now. I probably yesterday managed to move it about 3 inches. Today I've probably gone a whole foot, so.
Well, the whole thing's spinning now.
Yeah, but that's okay because the housing. But I'm brilliant, Kelly.
I'm glad to.
Seriously, I was wondering if it was threaded, and I went with the theory and it worked. See those threads?
Yep.
Okay.
Now what?
Oh boy, man, can you think if we tried to pull it?
Yeah.
Or like did anything other than what we were doing?
Disaster.
It would have been disaster for sure.
Oh, yeah, just pull it out.
Well, there's stuff inside.
When in doubt.
Come on in. Come on up, let me show you what I've been up to for the last freaking 4 days.
Okay.
Oh. This coupler is fairly loose. I just have the keyway that we don't want to lose. So we're gonna go tap, tap, tappy until we can get this without dropping the keyway. Almost got it. Oh, there goes there it is.
What was that?
Ow!
You okay?
Yes. Okay, now the last thing that I get off is this collar right here. The one for the dripless. That's stuck. Huh. How are you ready? I think I got it.
Okay, ready.
Ah!
Woohoo! It's brand new.
Looks good. I don't see a whole lot of damage done. I think there were 3 set screws in there. That may be why this was so hard to get off. Man, that might have just been like so much of my effort wasted because there was an extra set of set screws in there.
Oh, idiot!
There we let's pull this sucker out, shall we?
Ready?
Ready. That's sweet action. That is a long prop shaft.
What's ridiculous is all the effort it took to get this crap off here, and then it just slides right out. Like I expected it to get caught and have to deal with another full problem, but and look at the bend. You can see it at the tip. You see that? Just barely bent.
You can. It's unfortunate.
That's all it is. Barf. All right, let's put it in the car. Take it to the machine shop.
Chris found a machine shop near the yard to straighten our shaft, at the recommendation of some others with similar problems.
There's the shaft over here. I thought about taking it all the way back to San Diego because I'm sure they could do it there, but Placido thinks he can do it here, and it's a lot less expensive. I got a quote from someone in the States that said it would probably take 4 hours at 150 bucks an hour, so $600. Here they're saying about 15 to 1800 pesos, which is 100 bucks. Said it'd take him about a week and he'd give me a call, so that's what we're gonna go with.
So what are you gonna do while we wait for our shaft?
Ditching Kelly for a couple of days while I head to San Diego to see Phil again. Got a bunch of stuff being delivered to his place, including our bottom paint. Exciting times. Just got into town, separating this giant pile of stuff. We got this. Our bottom paint and some extras. Okay, here's all the stuff we ordered. Now I gotta throw away all the cardboard and find room in the van for all of this to make it look like I already have it so they don't try to charge me import duty. All loaded up to head back. Just a quick trip for some snacks. And underneath that is the paint.
I am very, very sneaky, sir. I see that.
We're officially back in Mexico. Mexicali to be specific. Got about 3.5 hours until we're home.
Chris finally arrived back in Puerto Penasco after a long 6-hour drive from San Diego.
And we're back. 6 hours in the car, but no trouble at the border, no trouble at any checkpoints or anything like that, so everything was smuggled in.
Dude, could you say that any louder?
Everything was smuggled in with no problems.
Now that Chris is back with the van, we can pick up another major haul.
Are you ready, dude?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
We made a new old purchase. Our dinghy has a soft bottom. There was someone here in the boatyard that was selling an aluminum bottom dinghy, so we purchased it, and now we have to go pick it up. The people we bought it from, they have a channel. Pretty exciting little thing.
Yeah.
So let's head over. Got to figure out how to get it back to the boat. So the couple we bought it from, they're in a familiar place, the Frederico's Marina, where we actually had our boat before we hauled out. And it's someone you may recognize. We're here.
That's right, it's Bill from Calico Skies.
What's shaking?
Taking my dinghy.
Yep.
My baby for like 6 years.
Well, what do you think?
We already knew this would be a major upgrade from our soft bottom dinghy. We trust these guys, so we didn't see the need to inspect it or test it out. The only real dilemma is figuring how to haul it up to the boat. Bill was able to help us get this beast up the ramp, which was great because clearly this required some extra muscle.
Ready? you want to drive and I'll hold it?
Sure.
I think you guys are gonna nail this. Crushing it right now. Wait till one of the wheels rips off on its first curb. They're in, right? Yeah.
Bye, Bill!
Bye! Take care of the dinghy for me.
We didn't have far to go, but this would be a very cautious journey to the yard.
There's a topo coming up.
Wide turn and we got a topo coming up.
That's Spanish for speed bump.
Okay.
We made it.
All right, crawl on out of there.
That worked pretty slick. Here it is. Christen it with a beer. Seems like an appropriate beverage for a vessel of this size.
Just as we were getting settled, one of our neighbors let us know that Drifter had been recently attacked.
Some wonderful news in the boatyard today.
I'm not quite.
Turns out that while I was away, someone hit the boat more than once, and not lightly, for the forklift. And it's got the anchor all jacked up. And this is cracked and ripped open. This is cracked and ripped open. The roller is bent this way. The anchors, you can see where it contacted, and it broke that roller piece that's right there. It looks like there's a little bit of a bend in this pole. Oh, this is separated. This right here is cracked open. So yeah, this whole thing took a big hit. This wasn't just a bump, and the boat next door said it was more than one hit. We got minor impact damage right here on the front. And I know that's new because all the other spots that weren't new, I had already put primer on. And
Yep, and there's more.
if you line up the mast and go up, you can see the damage to the anchor area. But you go up and now the whole mast is listing to the port side. That's crazy. I don't even know how that's accomplished.
Great. On top of all the planned projects we had, now we have another list of repairs from this rogue forklift operator. Anyway.
Today's mission is to fill these holes in the skeg and then one over there with the flotation foam, just to kind of like fill in this void with something that's going to be water impermeable and seal up these holes. The trick is we somehow have to pour foam into these holes, and obviously that's not very conducive to gravity. The plan is to use this. So this will go into the hole here and we'll feed the foam in, trying to be a little bit conservative on how much you put in there, because every time I've used some sort of expanding foam, it always ends up making a big old mess. So you have 3 holes we're going to go into. I had to put a mask on because they're sanding some heavy metals next door. You can see the flakes in the air, and that can't be good for my lungs. Anyway, let's mix up the batch and see if we can't make this happen. It's going to go fast and I'll probably make a mess. That's pretty normal.
This is the 2-part flotation foam from our friends at Total Boat.
I'm going to mix up a ton, maybe 200 mils. Sounds about right.
Chris then proceeded to funnel the foam into all our voids.
There, looks ugly, but that should do the job. See how it's still expanding? That's a good thing. Hopefully it'll fill up any recesses and push out any extra moisture, which it seems to be doing, which is great. These were virtually empty and now they look like this. That's how much the stuff expands. And it's a closed cell product, so that means that it is not going to let water back in. I'm gonna let that expand. It takes forever to finish, and then we'll come back and get after it.
A few hours later,
Lots left of fiberglass, but we got the rudder done. The expanding foam is in there. We put on 6 layers of fiberglass each. That should be more than enough to take care of the problem. Then we'll peel off the peel ply, sand and fair, and then get ready for bottom paint with berry coat. That's it for today. Got places to be. Next time we come back, we'll just do more of these patches. We got a fair bit on the other side, plus we have these guys.
between boat work and office work, we were jonesing for some fun, so we hit the town that evening.
Kelly, do you hear the rumble? The rumble of Harley-Davidson engines?
It's a lot of ribbon.
This weekend they're having a big motorcycle rally here in Puerto Penasco. So we thought we'd just go out and see what's going on. Because Mexico's hardcore.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's awesome.
Have fun, bring earplugs.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like if I send this clip to your mom, she'd freak out. That looks worth hitting up.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's one of the hot dog places. I could eat a hot dog right now, Kelly.
Yeah. We checked out some delicious looking vendors in the middle of all the action, but they were quite expensive for Mexico.
How much are they? Okay. We'll come get one later.
Those skewers looked delicious, but they were a bit out of our budget, so we kept walking.
That was cool and exciting, but not really our scene. So we just grabbed some drinks and we're gonna go meet some friends and hang out for the evening. You know, after about half of these, this might seem more fun.
Bill invited us over to his boat, Calico Skies, along with some other cruisers for some libations. We had a great time swapping stories. He had some leftover hooch from their COVID cruising days, so we helped polish that off.
Who decided this song?
This guy. At this point, we definitely needed some food, so we headed back down Motorcycle Alley, found the first hot dog stand we saw, and it turned out to be a pretty great deal. Only $2 a piece. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
I mean, it's tasty. I've had a couple of beers. But
Cheap hot dog for $2 seems pretty great. You know what else is pretty great? This week's blooper reel, sponsored by our patron, Diane G.
Oh,
Yeah, just pull it out.
well, there's stuff inside.
When in doubt.
Come on in.
You make me nervous.
I do?
Yeah.
Why?
All these things just hanging out.
Man, the bilge is wide open right now.
Yeah, exactly. You got all these bolts here. Just one knock and everything goes flying. That's your most proud part, huh?
This is my most proud part here, Kelly, because motorcycle rally.
Yeah.
Get it high res. Is it high res? I feel like if I send this clip to your mom, she'd freak out. It's like motorcycles everywhere, dogs barking. Hopefully we can get the rest of this off before my headphones fall on my face. I'm a page boy.